Good to see you back checking out on my channel. I've got a quick video about wheelers and how they changed this game in maybe not the most positive one. But before we're gonna proceed to my encounter with some lightly armored vehicles, let's enjoy this surprising rape from the back on FV207, the artillery. Yes, in my opinion, the artillery as much as cancerous as wheelers, or I should say wheelers are as much as cancerous as artillery, but I think wheelers a little bit more, but that's just my opinion. I'm gonna move on to introduce you to my next enemy, who's gonna be playing in WoT 12T. It's a regular tank from the tech tree, from the French tech tree, tier 8. It's lightly armored and will not have much to say with encounter of against EBR. So there you go. Here we've got that WoT. I'm not even using high explosive rounds, and I'm gonna explain you why it's quite important. Here I'm just playing casually. I'm just driving around, auto-aiming. Enemy can't hit me. Well, he hit me kind of once out of his magazine. He's just being kind of helpless. Probably I've damaged his engine or driver and he cannot really escape. There you go. Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. He couldn't do anything. Have you noticed? He couldn't do anything pretty much. I was just circling him around. It is because wheelers are extremely fast, so it requires a lot of skill to hit them, and skill and luck and RNG. Plus, they have this enhanced auto-aim mechanics, and also they have this high explosive round that fly very very fast. They've got high shell velocity, plus they're causing immense amount of damage to lightly armored vehicles, except with the health points that they can damage on health points that they can inflict. Also, they're damaging a lot of crew members and the modules. And here it is. I decided not to encounter that LT-432 because it's actually a tank that is dangerous to EBR. I went to kill that T-92, and this time I am using high explosive shells. And look at this, the guy is absolutely destroyed. And I just realized that this is the same player as from the artillery that I raped first, and then WoT. It's Martins 1979. Well, sorry for you, but I understand what you're feeling. I've been in that situation. Maybe it's not in that bad situation, but I guess basically the guy got pissed off and tried to take a revenge, but he couldn't do much against this wheeler. And it is not even his fault, lack of skill, etc. You don't require actually to do well. You don't require much to do well with wheelers, because you know you just have to auto-aim, shoot, move around the enemy. But it takes a lot to actually being able to damage wheelers. And here is the third light tank that I'm going to encounter in this clip. It's EBR, the same tank as mine. And here I actually had to focus. I had to actually think what I'm gonna do next. The guy has more HP. Thankfully, I've equipped here banded toolbox, and I was able to fix my wheels. The life of this tank depends on how fast the wheels can be fixed. So thankfully to that I was able to actually regain my mobility and win this encounter against EBR 75 FL. And I think, and probably a lot of you will agree with me, that this tank is crazy overpowered and absolutely broken. I enjoyed playing it because it's actually quite fun, but it kills the fun for players with many other tanks in this game. It can circle without any problems heavy tanks, tank destroyers, and it can absolutely devastate mainly lightly armored vehicles. I'm gonna give you a list of them why you should not buy. I mean, ones that in my opinion you should not buy. And for example, playing frontline mode is just pretty much chill. I've got so many generals. I barely. Most of the battles I'm playing on frontline, I'm just getting general by just casually driving around EBR. Yeah. So that's what it is. That's my opinion about wheeled vehicles. I think they're absolute cancer. Well, let's move on to the list. In Tankopedia on World of Tanks main website, I filtered out those lightly armored vehicles, which mostly gonna be light tanks. And I'm gonna start from the top. It's HWK-30, and this one is the one that hurts me quite a lot because I would definitely spend money on it. Just because of the nostalgia of RU-251 that used to be on a tier 8 in the German tech tree, that I played a lot and used to be one of my favorite vehicles. Now, this is a kind of same as RU in the premium version, but I already destroyed dozens of them with wheeled vehicles, and that one has nothing to stock up against them, maybe except with the high explosive rounds, that if you're gonna hit them and not gonna penetrate, at least you're gonna destroy some of the wheels and slow down wheelers. That's the only effective weapon against those wheelers. And next one is M4190, and I'm gonna talk about, because there's plenty of them. There's M41 Bulldog, there's M41 premium version for Chinese vehicles from tier 8, and this one is a bit sluggish. Stay away from wheeled vehicles. I've got one of those, and it's not nice. One good thing, again, high penetration, high explosive rounds, and do not approach directly any wheelers. That would be my advice. T52, that's not a bad idea, but this vehicle has been given for free, and if you're encountering EBR from tier 6, you might stop some high explosive shells from the front because it's got some armor actually. And this one, LT432, it's got a weird icon, that's clearly LTG from tier 7. This one is one of the best weapons against EBR because it's got plenty of armor, and unleashed wheelers will be able to hit it from the back or pass, around the tracks. This is like really good. T92, this is probably the worst vehicle to play against wheelers because you can't even escape. The only pretty much weapon that might threaten them is the high velocity shells and APCR as a standard, but please, like, don't frustrate yourself. You're gonna encounter any of the wheelers, even from tier 6, and this is going to rip you apart. And that's, I think, my previous clip proved that. Type 64, second most played vehicle on my account. Same principle. This is a juicy targets to any high explosive shells, and it doesn't even have enough mobility to run away from them. Sadly, because I really like the vehicle, but I don't play in that anymore. Type 62, it's got some frontal armor, but ain't that actually mobile, so again, it's not bad against wheelers. I've been talking about 841 previously. AMX 1375, this is a Grand Phylon version, but I've got also a normal one. It has high speed shells, which might actually threaten some of the wheelers, but still, no armor. Not bad, it's actually quite fun vehicle to play, but just expect that you're not gonna be holding up very well against wheelers again. EBR against EBR, you know that. ELC-90, that's another vehicle I would definitely recommend to avoid because it's a bushwanker, it's got autoloader, but it's very inaccurate, especially on the move. What are you gonna do against high speed wheelers? What are you gonna do? You're just gonna get ripped apart, and trust me, I don't own one of these, but I played and I destroyed dozens of them. Even if they were sitting in a bush, eventually you're gonna get spotted and you're gonna get ripped apart. And newly introduced to this game, FV1066 Sandlak. It's a pile of garbage, despite the fact that a lot of content creators on YouTube reviewing this tank were saying, "No, it's not bad, it's not bad." Yeah, I've played against them mainly in frontline shortly after they've been introduced to this game, and yes, it's the same principle. High explosives rounds, auto aim, circle around, and do whatever you want. One more thing I have to mention is something that hurts me quite a lot because I wasted some money on it, which I wouldn't do this right now. It is French, particularly French tank. Why am I doing this with British? It's French, not British. It's Lorraine 40T, which can't even stop high explosive rounds from the front. So again, I have to, when I play this vehicle, I have to stay away. Revoir l'Odyssey. It's got a good gun. Stay at the back. If you're gonna get caught wide in the open by wheelers, you're done. And this one is probably the worst. Just don't bother yourself. Like this tank was useless before wheelers were introduced, and now, oh my god, every time when I see CDC, AMX CDC, it's just like, yeah, bring it on. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Sad, I have to admit, sad, but it is what it is. I mean, wheelers are in this game, you can't turn back the time. Wargaming won't remove them, probably they're gonna introduce more of them. As a solution for it, I would probably advise World of Tanks to create another class of vehicles, wheeled vehicles, maybe create a symbol of circle instead of being just the light tanks, and reduce the numbers just like artillery, maybe to 1 or 2 in one battle, and, oh, for God's sake, do not make personal missions on them, because you don't really want to incentivize people destroying this game even more by playing it. It's bad already as it is, it's absolute cancer, probably worse than artillery in my opinion, and yeah, it's quite sad. Guys, thanks for watching, subscribe, share, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I wish you good luck on the battlefield. Until next time.